Hello guys and welcome to another, I'm not going to say brand new because this set's been out a minute, but a new review for the channel. This is the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Reimagined Real Feel Velociraptor and Moto Persuit pack. Now this is a Legacy or Reimagined set that I actually was excited for because it comes with a human figure, which is what I enjoy. And this is actually a pretty neat little set. This is a reimagining. It's called Reimagined, of the 1997 The Lost World Dino Snare dirt bike, and it's also referencing the Velociraptor pursuit scene from Jurassic World, which is pretty cool. It kind of misses the mark in both aspects, but it also hits the mark in both aspects, so you'll see in the review once I get into my thoughts and feelings on everything. But for the $34 you pay, is this set worth it? Well, that's what we're going to determine today. Is this set worth $34? And if you do want me to check out the Triceratops that also released alongside this set, that one's going to be a harder sell for me. So if you do want a review of that, if this video can get 100 likes, I will buy the Triceratops. I don't really care for Triceratops, and B, I do really like that Triceratops. Like, I saw it in stores, but money's a little tight, and this is the set I prefer to the two, and they're roughly the same price. So I decided to go for this one. I feel like you get a little bit more of what I'm interested in as compared to the Triceratops versus Triceratops. As you also know, Legacy Reimagined is not my favorite line of all time. I've been somewhat critical of quite a few of the sets at this point, like as in, I didn't even bother reviewing some of the figures. I've not done a review of the Indominus or the Giganotosaurus Therizinosaurus set, because the Indominus, I cannot justify $54 for that figure, and I don't have it. The Giga and Theory set I bought, I owned, I was like, do I review this? And I decided there's no point. You know what you're getting. They're decent enough figures, it's just they both kind of fail in their references. I don't care for Legacy Reimagined. Please bring back Legacy Collection just in full. I really like aspects of this, but if this was like a 93 Classic set, like Legacy Reimagined is trying to be 93 Classic, but it's also trying to be Legacy, and it's trying to do too much, and it fumbles across the finish line at times. This set is a perfect example of that. The Triceratops is really solid, but it's hard to, it's a big Triceratops, like, that's what the review would be. Yeah, this is a real feel Triceratops. The sculpt's cool. This I can kind of sink my teeth into, pun intended, and get into it. But yeah, the box is cool. You got the Legacy Collection Reimagined logo. I do love the branding here. You got the orange Legacy and then the classic Jurassic Ford Explorer look with the Reimagined logo. Everything you can access in the box. You can got the dirt bike. The Raptors are here, and they are real feel, which is interesting because these are such small figures. So it's cool that they did manage to implement real feel onto such a small figure. These sides of the box have the Jurassic World Legacy Collection logos, which I do miss the old Legacy Collection. The back of the box shows off everything included, being Owen and the Raptors. Owen was not my first choice character for the set, but it has been a minute since we've gotten an Owen in the line. I just really wish, instead of giving us characters we all already have, they would make movie-accurate human figures, throw them in these sets so the collectors who still want those characters can get those figures, and then give them the goofy armor you can put on top. That way you can have your film-accurate version and then throw the armor on top. But this is an interesting figure. I do really like this figure. We'll get into it. When we get into it, we got to open it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to open the set and get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. So here is everything out of the box, and I'm not fully convinced the value's there yet. I'll have to, really mess around with it. What I do really like is this Owen figure. It is, you know, a bit of a bummer that it is an Owen instead of like a character we've never had, but at least it's been a few years since we've gotten an Owen, and it's a pretty unique Owen. And if you really don't want it to be Owen, you just put the helmet on there and call it a mercenary. So you can do that if you want. We're going to take a look at Owen last, because that's the thing I'm the most interested in. So you also get this bike. It's a repaint, you know, the Legacy 93 Classic lines. They are repaint lines, so a lot of repaints and retools. This is a repaint, but it does come with a new accessory, which is pretty neat. Just, there's 2 pegs there, and it pegs in like that, and boom, you can now snare your dinosaurs with your Dino Snare dirt bike. Pretty cool. We're gonna look at these raptors, because this is gonna be the more negative part of the video, is the Velociraptors. You know, Mattel cannot make a playset without including Velociraptors. These are the Dominion Sculptoraptors 2, a sculpt that is notoriously disliked by the community. It's not the crouching raptor bad, but ever since this sculpt was introduced, it has not been a fan favorite. But we'll take a look at the raptors. We'll start with the... This is weird because it's trying to be a Lost World set and a Jurassic World set. So you've got your Lost World Tiger Raptor and then your Jurassic World blue Velociraptor toy. So it is kind of interesting. We'll take a look at the Tiger Raptor first. Now this harkens back to the Kenner, you know, Lost World Tiger Raptors. However, I don't remember any Tiger Raptors being green, having green striping. This is a green striping. It's not brown. It's like this gross green color. And this is a very simple Velociraptor. Don't really care for it. It's a Mattel Raptor. However, these are real feel, which is, these are the smallest real feel figures, so they will get points for that. The torso is squishy and real feel, which I know, pretty cool. I will give them points for that. Real feel Raptors is pretty neat, and it's something we've never had in the line outside of like the Utah Raptor. So points there for being unique. It's a Tiger Raptor, no noticeable QC. It's not my favorite. There's like no paint other than the eye and the green on the body. No paint on the fingers or toes. We do have a scan code. You can scan this into Jurassic World Facts. It is articulated. The jaw will open, revealing a painted tongue. It might not visibly show, but it is painted. It's not the same orange. Pretty well painted too. Like, there's no slop, which I do appreciate. The eyes are pretty nice. Head sculpt's not bad. The head does rotate, which I did not expect, but, you know, pleasantly surprised there. And the arms are articulated. The legs are articulated. And the tail does not. So it looks like it should swivel. It does not. So a little bit of a loss of articulation there. But it's the Dominion Raptor, but it's squishy. It's that sculpt. So if you like that sculpt, you'll like this figure. It's not the worst sculpt in the world. It's not the best sculpt in the world. This isn't even our first Tiger Raptor to have this sculpt. They've been using the sculpt for a bit, so for what it is, it's not bad. And it does come with a harness. These do look to be pretty similar to the Hammond Collection harnesses, but they're a little more simplified, which, you know, makes sense. So you can recreate that awesome scene from Jurassic World where the Tiger Raptor rides through the jungle. You know, everyone remembers that scene, right? Because I don't. Clasp at the back. It'll pop open like that, and then this slides down the neck of the dinosaur, and then you can... It's a little goofy, especially on a Tiger Raptor, but you know, it's a fun set. What this set gets is fun points. I'll get into my overall thoughts at the end. Definitely fun. And an interesting Tiger Raptor. We get one other Velociraptor in this set. We get blue. But it's like blue, but she's been 90s-ified. This is very like, it's blue if she came out in the original Kenner toy line, obviously with this terrible sculpt, but like the paint is pretty 90s looking. It's white with the blue. It looks pretty good. It's not necessarily referencing any specific figures. The only other blue to include a harness is the Hasbro one that came with the missile launcher that would strap onto. That would have been awesome. That would have been a real niche callback. But that figure's a lighter colored version of blue. This is also blue. It's the same Raptor. Bit of a bummer. It would have been cool if they would have given us a different Raptor sculpt for blue, but it's the same sculpt, which, you know, would have been nice. So it's got all the same articulation, you know, the head swivels, the jaw, all of that. The mouth is painted, which is nice. It shows up easier on this figure than the other one. The other one's mouth was painted too. It's just on an orange-reddish background. An orange-reddish mouth is not going to show up easily. Blue has some stability issues. Her feet are uneven. I'm sure if I get it posed up on a shelf, it won't be an issue. But as far as this review, she really wants to topple. She is squishy as seen. And then she has the scan code. I will show that off while it's knocked over. Scan that into Jurassic World facts. And then it has the harness logo on the figure. Pretty neat that they both do include harnesses. Okay, so the harnesses are different colors, and I do have them color matched. The greenish one goes with blue. The gray one goes with our Tiger Raptor. So blue gets the greenish metallic-y one. No, makes sense. It's cool. This is technically our first mainline release of Jurassic World Raptors with the harnesses, and I'm sure I could put these on my Raptor squad figures, but with the weird bluish green color of the second one, I wouldn't be army building this pack for harnesses, if you know what I'm saying. Like, these are kind of specifically meant for these versions of the Raptors, especially because it's supposed to be more 90s-ified, Kenner-inspired stuff. So unless you really want to put a bluish green metallic harness on your Mattel standard Raptor squad, be my guest. I don't own the figures that you purchase. I own the figures that I purchase. If I am especially rambly tonight, I've had a couple of drinks. So that is why. This harness is so much harder to get on than the other one, and I don't know why. I had to like heat it up and stretch it like taffy. That was horrible. But it looks good on blue. Definitely won't be taking it off ever because it was such a pain to get on. So blue will forever be in this state. It's cool that blue is real feel. Cool that they've got the accessories, but honestly these two Raptors are not Mattel's best work. And I'll save it at that until the comparisons. Moving on to Owen and his vehicle. So we've got Owen Grady, aka Chris Pratt, aka Super Mario, aka Garfield, aka what's that movie coming out this year, Mercy? I don't think anyone's seeing that. Aka the husband of Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. I can keep going if you'd like. It's Chris Pratt. It's Owen Grady. But this is actually a really cool figure because this is a pretty closely identical remake of the Lost World Carter figure, other than instead of being Carter, you know, the awesome character from the Lost World, we have Owen Grady, the awesome character from Jurassic World. So he's pretty cool, and if you don't want him all kitted up, all his gear is removable so you can have a more standard Chris Pratt experience. And honestly, it matches, you know that one scene in Jurassic World where he takes off his shirt, he's working on his motorcycle and he's talking to Claire? It matches that outfit pretty decently. So it's a pretty decent Jurassic World Chris Pratt likeness. It's definitely his Jurassic World look, this is the first appearance of the Jurassic World Owen in the main line. He obviously had his appearance in the Hammond collection, but yeah, this is a Jurassic World Chris Pratt, but it's also like a 90s-ified Owen Grady is not a sentence I ever thought I'd say. This is our second Legacy Reimagined human figure, the other one being the ACU Pilot, a figure I'm not the biggest fan of because it could have been something different, but this one at least is a named character, and that's pretty exciting. And he looks pretty good. We'll go over the articulation because he is a standard Mattel human figure, and then we'll get him fully kitted up and check out his motorbike. He's a standard Mattel human, so you don't have your lovely Hammond collection articulation. but he does have a pretty decent range of articulation. His head will move side to side, up and down. And speaking of his head, we'll take a closer look at it. It's a decent younger Chris Pratt likeness. I do think it is a new sculpt. It is not an Owen head that I have seen. It might be the same as the Hammond Collection one, but I don't have that figure on hand to compare. It's in the dorm, so we'll be comparing to other Chris Pratts that I have. The arms are articulated. They'll move up and backwards. They'll move out. Pretty good range of motion. It's also got elbow articulation. These elbows are nice and like loose, as in they're not going to break on you. They're going to bend as intended, which is nice. Some Mattel figures don't. He's got waist swivel. He's got legs. This leg feels kind of loose. This leg also feels like his legs feel a little loose, a little concerning, but I'm sure he'll be able to stand. His legs will move. He can do the kicks. Legs don't move back. He can do the splits as well. And then his knee will rotate. And this is where Mattel figures have issues. Yeah. Classic Mattel gummy leg. So be careful with his legs. Mattel humans are known for their knee joints being weak and breaking. So please do be careful. He also comes with a knife and knife sheath. This is kind of standard for Owen figures at this point. Shouldn't have recorded at night. This video's quality is going to be so bad. And you do get the little knife, which is a pretty neat little accessory there. I will have to compare it. I think it's the same knife that came in the Dominion sets. So yeah, it's Owen. He's cool. He's got gloves, and he's also got other accessories, being this vest and helmet. So let's get Owen kitted up. This vest looks like it's made out of dinosaur skin, but also tactical military grade at the same time. So it's probably made out of dinosaur skin. It's not as apparent, but it's a cool piece. You can kind of make Owen kind of bulkier, which Chris Pratt and bulky armor is never a bad thing. And it's not the first time Mattel's done it. They've done a couple Fallen Kingdom Owens that came with armor. So that looks cool. And he's not even the first Owen to come with a helmet. There's been a couple motorcycle packs with Owen. This is the third motorcycle pack with Owen. And he's got this helmet. That's pretty cool. It's got like a shark fin on it and a shark mouth. Pretty neat. Owen. He's got the knife. He can hold the knife. I'll probably pose him in some sort of cool knife pose on my shelf, because I don't display vehicles on my shelf. As cool as his little bike is, I do wish he came with a gun or something. Owen's gonna have a hard time taking on a Velociraptor or anything bigger than a Compy or one of the smaller Dimorphodons with this knife, but it's cool that he comes with a knife. This accessory is probably going to be lost on most of these secondhand, so maybe keep the knife in his sheath. It's kind of common Owen practice. You keep Owen's knife in his sheath so you don't lose it. And yeah, he's pretty cool. But what is a motorcycle Owen without a motorcycle? He's just Owen. So he does come with this motorcycle. This is the same dirt bike that came in the Jurassic World Dominion set, the one that has the Carnotaurus. But it now has a mounted snare, and this snare is a bit of a disappointment. It's not a real snare. It's a fixed loop. Can you even move it? That's a fixed piece of plastic. Like, it's molded and sculpted on here. So if you want a snare, I guess you'll be bending the plastic, which is never good on a Mattel set, because Mattel's plastic is a little gummy and tends to break. This bike is going to have balancing issues for sure. It's very top. Like, if I bend this, it falls. It's the same bike we've had and seen before, except this one has been a bit dirtied up, which I do like. I'm gonna go ahead and just take this off for the sake of looking at the bike. It rolls. It's dirtied up. I like the dirt on the wheels, and there's like dirt and grime on the chassis. You got the kind of jungle print there. It actually matches the Dennis Nedry bike pretty well, as far as like, these came from the same facility, I believe that. Got the Jurassic logo on that side. It's a cute little dirt bike. And you got the snare, which, you know, objectively is a fun play feature. I just don't think they executed it very well here. But, you know, I don't design toys. I just sit and talk about them to a very select few people in this very niche hobby. So, let's go ahead and get Owen on the bike. You know, it's not a good motorcycle if he can't ride it, you know? That was a Sisyphusian ordeal. Every time you put one of Owen's hands on, the other would pop off. It was quite awful. But yeah, the designated play of this set is Owen is like, we're gonna go catch the dinosaurs. And the dinosaur is... Why is Owen trying to catch the dinosaurs if it doesn't matter? So he's got the dinosaurs and he can take the snare, the very flimsy plastic snare, and snare the dinos on the bike. And yeah, that's the gimmick. It doesn't work very well. You know what would work well? The string. Maybe it's got something to do with like as a choking hazard or something, some sort of regulation, or just make it where this can pivot. Like you can't really snare, like this feels like it's gonna break, and bending it. Odd choice. This whole set is odd choices, this set. And this is where I'm gonna start ranting, because I feel like it's a decent transition to begin my rant about my set. And I want to do eventually a whole 93 Classic / Legacy, because they're the same line, 93 Classic, and they just renamed it 93 Classic to Legacy Reimagined. But they're doing too much odd with this subline. It's 93 Classic worked so well because it had the nostalgia beats but still felt modern, and it was, you know, a celebration of Jurassic Park and its history. Legacy Reimagined is, well, 93 Classic toys sold well, but it's no longer 1993. Let's change the name, but people still want Legacy Collection sets, so let's just take Legacy moments and 90s-ify them, and then nobody gets what they want, because you got your 90s old heads who are like, well, I want remakes and reimaginings of my favorite toys as a kid. I will bring it in. I have it. This is the Dino Snare dirt bike. It is pretty, like, down to the striping on the seats and the dirt on the tires. It is the Dino Snare dirt bike. And, like, people who had that toy as a kid are going to be pretty hyped. But it's not... Old one is a better toy. It's a better toy. You will see. It's better design. It's a better toy. But it harkens back to that. And they're going to be excited, but then they're like, oh, it's Owen. And it's got the Jurassic World raptors. And they don't like those movies. And so it's like, well, okay. Like, just go all in on the Lost World. If you really must, just make it a random mercenary. Make it Carter. Like, that would be so cool and niche. Like, people would obviously be like, well, we got Carter before X, Y, and Z character. But still, at least he's a character that appears in the source material of this set. But this is trying to be two things. It's trying to recreate that scene where Owen rides through the jungle with the Velociraptors, which is a cool scene, don't get me wrong. But if you want to make that toy, make an accurate motorcycle, make an accurate Owen, make accurate raptors. Well, if you want to recreate the Dino Snare dirt bike, have the Dino Snare dirt bike, throw in a Tiger Raptor. Yeah, that never happens in the movie, but you know, the original toy didn't even come with a dinosaur. It was just the vehicle and the human. But like, you can call back to that set and do it all the way. You can't have both. We do have both. It exists. Like, it physically exists. But the people who want like an accurate Jurassic World raptors riding through the jungle, they're not satisfied. The people who want to remake of the Dino Snare dirt bike, they're not satisfied. So it leaves this weird set that everyone's like, I guess I'll pick it up. That's kind of how I was like, I guess I'll pick it up. It's kind of cool. That's how I feel about this whole Legacy Reimagined line. Like, when Legacy Collection sets came out, like when they first revealed that Roll and Tembo set, I was like, oh my god, that is awesome. Or when they did, I'm looking back at the shelf, some of them, not all of them are perfect, but like the raptor cage with, like, yeah, okay, it's a reuse of the old Muldoon. The raptor cage with the park workers, that was awesome. Like, those genuinely were sets that were like hyped people up. And then we get the 93 Classic stuff. Those revealed, I was like, oh my god, that's such a cool 90s callback. And then we get this, and it's like, who's this for? It's not for me. As far as the $34 to $37 I think this retails for, I don't feel ripped off at all. Like, you're getting $7 per Raptor, that's $14. The human figure would be about $5. The accessories, you know, it's worth the value for sure. But like, if I was a kid, I would be a little disappointed by this toy because the snare doesn't work. The snare is not proper. And just like, I will compare it to the set this is remaking, and that was just such a better toy. You could totally remake that with this, but they didn't. If they would have like got rid of one of these Raptors and like done all the features of the Dino Snare dirt bike, resold it, would have sold pretty decently. I'm sure the set will sell decently. It's got 2 Raptors and a motorcycle. People are gonna see it and be like, "Oh, my kid will like that." And I'm sure their kids will. But I think kids deserve better toys. And that's my 2 cents. I've been incredibly disappointed with the Legacy Reimagined set. The only thing that's come out of Legacy Reimagined that I've genuinely been hyped up for and excited about was the Carnotaurus. That is just a remake of the Demon Carnotaurus. It's not a perfect figure. I wish it had an articulated jaw. It doesn't. The original didn't though, so I can't really complain. It's a pretty faithful recreation of that toy. The helicopter set was weird. I was like, okay, sure. The Indominus I don't have, but you know, I haven't bought it. It's been out almost over a year and I haven't bought it, so that shows you like, okay, not really interested in an Indominus. The Giga in Theory set I only bought because it was on clearance. That's why I bought that. This set I bought because it has a human figure. Triceratops. If y'all give me 100 likes on this video, or like if someone's really passionate, like, hey, can you please review the Triceratops? I want you to review it. I'll do it. It's honestly one of the better figures in the Legacy Reimagined line. I just, you know, being a little more picky and choosy with my spending. So if you do really want that review, 100 likes, or just if you really want it, just reach out and I'll do it. But this set is not, this set as a product, serviceable. It's just, it's got some disappointing parts to it. And I'm sure you understand. And if you think I'm, you know, being a dumb, stupid idiot, let me know. Call me out. Hold me accountable. But yeah, not my favorite thing ever. We are going to do some comparisons. I am excited to compare this set to some different things. We're going to go ahead and jump into some comparisons. So we've gotten quite a few motorcycles in the line since 2018. This is now our 5th motorcycle, and all of these are pretty cool. The first one they released was the Owen Grady motorcycle that came in the Baryonyx set, and there's also a re-release of this in the Yank-Tyrannosaurus set. It's kind of his motorcycle from the movie, but it's got this metal, weird plastic that's supposed to be metal on the bike, but it's to hold the gun. It looks pretty cool. Owen can ride it. It's a motorcycle. And then it was quite a while until we got another motorcycle. We got this one in Dominion, and I thought this motorcycle was just a straight repaint of this motorcycle. It is not. It takes parts from it, but it is not a straight repaint, which is actually pretty cool. It's nice that they gave us, it's kind of a new bike, which is nice, but it does take some parts and upscales kind of the back part here. So that's pretty cool. They completely reused Owen's bike from the one set to be Dennis Nedry's bike as part of the 93 Classic. It's the same bike, just it's been kitted up. It has many more accessories on it, so that's neat. Then we have the rarest bike in the collection being Kenji's motorcycle from Chaos Theory. Now this set did not release in the United States, so I had to import it. But this bike actually takes the front piece of this motorcycle as well as aspects of that motorcycle as well. So the set is kind of like an amalgamation of this motorcycle and the red motorcycle. And then obviously there's the Dino Snare dirt bike behind us. And yeah, it's cool that we've gotten so many motorcycles, and it's nice that they're all in the collection. Definitely really neat. So here's Blue with the more film accurate version of Blue. This is the same sculpt the Raptor. That's why I picked this version of blue, because they are the same sculpt. Some slight differences between these is this version of blue and most of these have the full ball joint on the head, so the head will move up and down, side to side. These ones, the heads only will go side to side. It's a little bit tight on blue. I'll show it off better on the Lost World Raptor. And tails don't move. Wow. This Raptor sculpt is so not good at standing. The tails do swivel. So, yeah. Also, it's like the older figures, the Dominion era ones, the scan codes are all there. Well, on the newer product, they're on the bottom of the feet again. So, there's blue alongside the 90s-ified blue. Obviously, the Tiger Raptors were around in the 90s, but we also have the Tiger Raptor as part of this set. And there is a Tiger Raptor that came in the Dieter Stark truck set. This one came in the Dieter Stark truck set. This one does not like standing at all. I have to pose it up like that. But yeah, it's interesting that there's a Tiger Raptor that shares the same sculpt as well. But obviously this one's a little more darker to fit the more 90s aesthetic. This one is trying to be more film accurate. It's not film accurate, but you know. But yeah, as you can tell, Mattel does kind of like this sculpt just a little bit. Like, if there's a Raptor, they're gonna use this sculpt. So here's another version. There's another. Or they really love this sculpt. These are just all the ones I own. This isn't even every one that's released. They made this sculpt during Dominion, and they're gonna get their money's worth out of it, I guess. So they all don't stand very well. They all aren't my favorite. This is not my favorite Raptor sculpt of all time, but we sure do have a lot of them. As you can see, Mattel likes this sculpt, and it's not the worst sculpt ever, but maybe use a different sculpt next time, Mattel. We've gotten this sculpt a lot. So here is every Owen in my collection compared to this version of Owen. Now this is my favorite Owen as of right now, and I don't have the Hammond collection Owen with me in the room. So there's two Owens, but this should be every mainline Owen figure. It's not every mainline Owen figure, like there's a couple of variants I don't have, as in like this one came in this playset and it's the same one that came in this playset, but it's exclusive to that playset. You know what I mean. This is every kind of unique version of Owen that I have. And we're going to go in release orders. So we've got our new Owen here. And then the first Owen I'm going to compare it to is the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This is the more basic standard Fallen Kingdom Owen. This guy came in many different playsets. He still, like, up until like Dominion, was still getting released in playsets. So he is, if you have an Owen, you probably have this one. This is specifically the Motorcycle Persuit Owen. He does come with armor, but I have stripped him of the armor because I just want this look, and he comes with his gun, so that's pretty cool. Up next, you've got your Fallen Kingdom variant Owens. You've got Raptor Trainer Owen. All of these have fun names that I've given them, or they have official fun names. So this is Raptor Trainer Owen. This was a standard release figure. He's pretty cool. One of my favorites because it's got that unique look for Chris Pratt. Very cool figure. Then we've got probably the rarest Owen in my collection. This was exclusive to a story pack, and it's also supposed to be a flashback figure. It looks a little bit more like he does in Jurassic World as part of flashback, and he comes with a Raptor guard. This was part of the Owen in Blue story pack. He's pretty neat. Another one of my favorites, and he's the most valuable of all of my Owens. Then for Fallen Kingdom, we've got Battle Armor Owen. He comes with armor. This is the same armor that comes in the motorcycle set, but this one is pretty cool. Very fun Owen figure here. Owen has the most figures out of any character in any of the Jurassic Park movies. Like, he has the most figures. The second is either Grant or Malcolm, but that's if you're including their 90s figures. These are just the modern figures, so it's a bit nuts. There's a lot of Owens. Then we've got Final Battle Owen. He is all scarred up at the end of the movie. He's pretty cool. He was a single release figure. That is just the Fallen Kingdom Owens. Now we've got our Dominion Owens. We've got our standard Dominion Owen here. He's pretty cool. He's probably the most comparable. This is definitely the Hammond Collection head. Just if they were reusing one of these heads, this is either a new head sculpt or the Hammond Collection head. I will look at photos of mine to compare. This one comes with the knife. I do believe it is a different knife. Yes, it is. So it is a new knife that comes with this Owen. Please focus. It's fine. It's a different knife. You're just going to have to trust me. So that's our first Dominion Owen. And then this is the same figure, but he comes with a motorcycle helmet. This is what I call motorcycle helmet Owen, and this is the same motorcycle helmet that comes with the other motorcycle Owen that came out during Fallen Kingdom, except it's in black instead of gray. His helmet was gray, his helmet's black, and his helmet's got a shark fin. So there's still more Owens. I'm still going. Next up is Red Shirt Owen. He came in a Walmart 2-pack that also came with Rain Delacourt. Pretty cool set, and it's cool that they at least repainted his shirt to give him more of an exclusive look. And then last for the Dominion Owens is Cowboy Owen. So yeah, and then not pictured is the Hammond Collection Owen Grady figure as well. And then while we do have human figures here, I did want to compare it to the other Jurassic World Reimagined human figure. This is the Reimagined ACU Trooper. It's like if ACU was at Jurassic Park. I don't care for this figure. My headcanon, he's Muldoon as far as the Jurassic Park, like 93 Classic. Because you could argue, like, it looks a little bit like Muldoon, but it's just a generic mercenary. But in my headcanon, this is my 93 Classic Muldoon until we get a retro-styled Muldoon, which I would love. So there's Owen there with some of his friends. Mattel has made a lot of Owen figures. Here is Owen next to the figure he's inspired off of, being Carter. If you put the helmet on there, it's a much more apparent comparison. So Carter came as part of the Dino Snare dirt bike, and as you can see, very evident homage there to the Dino Snare dirt bike Carter figure. Obviously, you got a couple of differences. This Carter has paint on his helmet that matches a bike. This version of Owen does not. He does have the shark fin look all the way around, and he's got the shark fin, which is a cool addition. I do like that. They both have the dinosaur skin inspired vest, except his looks like he went out and just killed a dinosaur and is wearing it. Owen's looks like tactical gear, but dinosaur skinny as well. And then they both do have the knee pads, black boots, black gloves, and striping on the pants. As far as weapons, they both do have built-in weapon storage. However, I would have much preferred Owen come with a rifle. That would have been really cool. But Owen has his knife, while Carter has his gun. So pretty cool that they kind of recreated Carter with those modern day toy ideas. Moving on, we have our Tiger Raptor. Here, this is a Lost World Tiger Raptor. You know, they went with the darker paint on this to match this figure a bit better. If I had the green-eyed variant of this, they'd be a much closer match, but this is the yellow-eyed variant. But you can tell it's supposed to be a Tiger Raptor, and it's got that more 90s aesthetic. Blue, on the other hand, is a much more a stretch as far as a recreation. As you can see, this blue is a bit lighter. I feel it matches this blue relatively decently. This is from the Fallen Kingdom. This is from the Jurassic World wave. It's the only other version of blue to have a harness. This is the first time blues ever come with a harness. The Hammond Collection version came with Owen, not blue. So this is what I feel this toy harkens to a little bit. It's a bit of a stretch. And then lastly, but certainly not least, we have the remake dirt bike. And you're gonna have to forgive me, the original Dino Snare dirt bike does not come with a kickstand. And mine is also broken because it dove off of my shelf. But here's the two Dino Snare dirt bikes. Obviously the older one is much bigger. That's because it's meant for bigger action figures. But you can see, this is going to be so difficult to do. This is why I'm glad I own a tripod. They have similar color schemes. You've got the red with the green striping. It's red with the green striping on the new one. They have the bit of red on the snare. As you can see, it has the bit of red on the snare. It has the snare itself. The one point I'm going to give this modern dyno snare dirt bike is it has a kickstand. This never had its kickstand, and posing it is so hard on the shelf. You have to lean it against stuff, otherwise it'll topple over, and that's why mine's broken. As you can see, the snare is broken. It fell over. I had to retape it, and which sucks because mine's actually new. Like, I got it brand new. I bought it relatively cheap at a flea market. Someone had it. It was brand new, but now it's broken. But you can tell they're both dirt bikes. Obviously, this one's a bit more of a modern dirt bike. That's much more a 90s dirt bike. And they both do have the snares. Now, as far as a remake, this is a pretty solid remake of the bike and the way it looks. And it does have the one improvement, but I feel it's a demake in many ways because the original dyno snare dirt bike is just such a fun set. The snare does not work on this one. Does not work. It's plastic. You can't really snare stuff. The original dyno snare dirt bike, however, and I do have a full review of the dyno snare dirt bike. It's a bit old, but I recommend it. The older snare will move. Like, you can move it up and down, which is really cool. And it's a functional snare, so you really can come in, like, you got the string and you can actually capture. It's going to be a bit of a stretch one-handed because I have to hold the bike, otherwise it'll fall. You can capture the dinosaur with the snare, and that's so cool. And the original dyno snare dirt bike has dyno damage, which is super cool because, like, I get this is much more like a display. They're more harkening back, or it's just a toy. But they have the piece of separation, so it looks like this is a button, but it's not. On the dyno snare dirt bike, the original one, the back of the bike has the separation, and if you press it, the whole front pops off, which is so cool. They don't make stuff like this anymore, and it's so easy. It's just a little launch mechanism. I feel like Mattel could have implemented a break apart feature on this new version of the bike. If they could engineer it back in 1997 and have it work, they could have totally done it in 2025 when they designed this set. So definitely a cool callback and homage to that set. Like, the nostalgia sold me on this set fully, and it's going to sell a lot of people on this set, but they kind of fumbled the nostalgia in areas. So that's my big complaint with the set, is trying to be two things. I've already been on the rant. It's trying to be two things and it fails to be both. So it just kind of leaves it kind of, it's good. It's like, you know, you go get dinner at a fast food restaurant and then you reheat the leftovers. Like, they're still good, but it's not as good as it was when you were there. So I think that's my problem with this set.